You push your cart through those sliding doors every week. You grab your reusable bags. You scan the Optimum card that's been tracking your every purchase since the year 2000. You think you're getting a deal. You think No Frills is actually cheaper. But here's what Loblaw isn't telling you. No Frills isn't a discount grocer. It's a deception machine designed to make you think you're saving money while selling you food that competitors won't touch. Produce that rots the day you get home. Meat that's been sitting in the back for weeks. Private label products that are literally underweight. We're about to expose 12 things No Frills is hiding from Canadian shoppers. Things that would get other stores shut down by health inspectors. And by number 12, you'll understand why that lower price isn't a bargain. It's a guarantee that you're buying the worst food in the grocery store. Number 1. The Shrinkflation scandal. A shopper in Vancouver bought a 750-gram bag of no-name frozen vegetables. When he got home and put it on his kitchen scale, it only weighed 434 grams. He was buying 42% less product than the package claimed. He posted it online. Loblaw responded with a vague statement about investigating. But this isn't isolated. Multiple shoppers have reported underweight no-name products. The bag says 750 grams. You're paying for 750 grams. You're getting 434 grams. This is called shrinkflation, and it's a deceptive pricing practice that should be illegal. The solution isn't buying at No Frills. It's understanding that Loblaw is using cheaper packaging that doesn't properly weigh products before filling. Or they're knowingly underfilling because they assume Canadian shoppers won't check. Either way, you're being robbed. And when you complain, the company says, bring the product back for a refund. But you already used it. You already made dinner. The burden of catching their fraud is on you. And most people don't weigh their groceries. So Loblaw keeps the extra margin. This is happening across multiple no-name product categories, not just vegetables, pasta, canned goods. The packages are slightly smaller or the contents are slightly less even though the product code and nutrition label look correct. Loblaw has figured out that Canadians trust the label more than they verify the actual contents. You're paying for weight that isn't there. Number 2. The locked cheese scandal. In 2024, shoppers noticed that certain cheeses at No Frills stores were locked behind glass. President's Choice, Splendido Parmigiano Reggiano, and Grana Padano were locked up. You had to ask a cashier to unlock them for you. This isn't about preventing theft. This is about poverty. When a store starts locking up food items, it's a sign that their customers are desperate. It's a sign that the neighborhood can't afford to shop anywhere else. Locking up cheese is an admission that your store sells products so cheap that desperate people will steal them to feed their families. Instead of addressing the underlying food poverty, Loblaw installed locks. They criminalized hunger. They made shopping at No Frills feel like you're in a convenience store in a high-crime area, not a grocery store. The message is clear. We know you can't afford our prices. We know you might steal. We're going to make you feel like a criminal while you shop. That's the No Frills experience. And the locked items are always the protein-heavy products, cheese, meat, the things people actually need for nutrition. Of course they get locked up. Of course that's what drives desperation. Loblaw's response was to install locks instead of lowering prices. That tells you everything you need to know about the company's values. Number 3, the frozen chicken lie. The red bag Kirkwood chicken breasts at No Frills are famous on social media. People post pictures of freezers stuffed with these. They claim it tastes like Chick-fil-A. It's become a cult following. But check the nutrition label. A single serving has nearly half your daily sodium limit. You're not eating chicken, you're eating a salt lick. The ingredient list includes carrageenan, a thickener derived from seaweed that scientists use in labs to induce inflammation and colitis in test animals. You're literally eating a chemical that researchers use to make animals sick for scientific studies. The chicken is also fried in soybean oil, which is inflammatory and usually genetically modified. The chicken is injected with saline solution to add water weight, so the package looks fuller. You're paying chicken prices for mostly water and chemicals. The reason it stays juicy after months in the freezer isn't freshness. It's because it's been chemically preserved to resist degradation. Real chicken from a quality butcher would be dry after a few months of freezing. This chicken stays suspiciously moist because of synthetic additives. The Kirkwood chicken is sourced from industrial operations, not small farms. The birds are raised in massive facilities where they're packed tightly together. They're given antibiotics to prevent infection from the crowded conditions. Those antibiotics end up in your chicken. You're not just eating chemicals, you're eating the remnants of factory farming at its worst. And this is the product that No Frills shoppers are hoarding. This is what people think is a quality deal. It's exactly the opposite. When you save money buying this chicken, you're externalizing the health cost to your body. You're paying less now and more later when health issues develop. It's a bad deal dressed up in marketing. Number 4, the rotten produce conspiracy. You're standing in front of the produce section at No Frills. The peppers look decent. The strawberries look fresh. You put them in your cart thinking you made a smart choice. You get home. You unpack your groceries. The pepper feels soft. The strawberries have white mold on them that wasn't visible at the store. You've been here before. This happens every time. This isn't an accident. This is deliberate. No Frills receives produce that other grocery stores have already rejected. The supply chain is designed around cost minimization, not quality control. The produce sits in non-temperature controlled environments during transport to save on refrigeration costs. By the time it reaches the store, it's already degrading. The shelf life has maybe 2 to 3 days maximum, but the produce section is designed to hide this. The lighting is bright and harsh, which hides discoloration and soft spots. The arrangement is packed tight so you can't squeeze the avocados to test for firmness. The signage is minimal, so there's no best by date that would scare you away. You think you're buying fresh produce at a discount. You're actually buying the last few days of a piece of fruit's life. And when it rots the day you get home, you're angry at yourself for not checking it properly. But the real anger should be directed at No Frills for selling you produce that's already dead. They're just waiting for you to notice. Shoppers on Reddit have reported buying produce that was already rotting when they got home. Cucumbers that liquefied in their hands, lettuce that was slimy, tomatoes that were moldy on the inside even though they looked fine on the outside. And the response from No Frills management? Nothing. There's no accountability. There's no quality guarantee. You buy it, you own the risk. And when you bring it back with a receipt, they act like you damaged it yourself. The truth is that No Frills sources the cheapest produce available, the produce that's been sitting in warehouses the longest, the produce that other stores rejected, and they sell it to you as a bargain. It's not a bargain, it's garbage wrapped in a business model. Number 5, the mislabeled country of origin scam. Here's something that would shock you if you looked at the labels. Produce is being mislabeled as to country of origin. Tomatoes labeled as product of Canada are actually coming from the United States or Mexico. Berries labeled as local are coming from South America. Apples marked as Canadian are coming from Washington or New York. This matters because Canadian shoppers specifically choose locally sourced produce to support Canadian farmers and reduce environmental impact. When you're paying premium prices for what you think is local, you're actually funding industrial agriculture in countries with minimal food safety regulations. The labeling is opaque by design. The tiny print is hard to read. The store doesn't train staff to answer questions about origin. You're supposed to trust the label without verifying. And when shoppers have called out the inconsistencies, they're met with vague explanations about supply chain complexity. The truth is simpler. No Frills sources from massive aggregate suppliers who mix local and imported produce together, and then the private label decides what story to tell on the label. You're not buying a local tomato. You're buying a story about a local tomato. And you're paying for that story while thinking you're supporting Canadian agriculture. Multiple customers have posted on consumer review sites that they specifically asked produce staff where produce was from, and the staff had no idea. They had no information. They couldn't verify origin. This proves that there's no traceability in the supply chain. If the staff doesn't know where the produce comes from, how could you possibly verify it? The system is deliberately designed to be opaque. Loblaw profits from that opacity. Number 6, the discount that isn't actually a discount. No Frills made headlines when they reduced their markdown on expiring items from 50% off to 30% off. Canadians lost their minds. There was outrage on social media. The company quickly reverted the policy, but here's what nobody talked about. The discount still isn't real. The 50% off prices are still higher than what you'd pay for the same product at full price at another store. It's a psychological game. You see a yellow or red markdown sticker, your brain screams deal, but the actual dollar amount you're paying is still inflated. No Frills knows that Canadians struggling with cost of living will grab anything with a discount sticker without doing price comparisons. The markdown creates an emotional response that bypasses rational thinking. You feel like you won. You saved money. But the base price at No Frills was already 20 to 30% higher than at competitors. The discount brings it down to what would be the normal price elsewhere. And those expiring products? Some shoppers have reported buying items that were rotten despite being marked down. The discount doesn't guarantee freshness. It just means the store is trying to move product before it becomes a complete loss. You're paying to take the risk of expired food off their hands. A study of No Frills pricing compared to competitors found that on average, their regular prices are 15 to 25% higher than other discount grocers. So when they put a 50% markdown sticker on something, they're really just making it competitive with what other stores charge normally. You're not saving money. You're breaking even after their discount. If you're realizing that No Frills has been deceiving you, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. We're only halfway through, and what's coming next will make you question every brand on their shelves. The final 6 issues are even worse. Number 7. The heritage brand deception. Loblaw owns No Frills. Loblaw also owns dozens of heritage Canadian brands. Nielsen, Armstrong, Dairyland. These brands have been around for decades. Canadians trust them. You see the old logos and think you're buying something with history and quality. But Nielsen was acquired by Loblaw in 2008, and the quality has been declining ever since. Armstrong was acquired, and the production was immediately moved to industrial facilities. These heritage brands are being kept alive as marketing tools, while their actual products are manufactured to the absolute lowest cost standard. The production methods have changed completely. The sourcing has changed. The ingredients have changed. But the branding stays the same because Loblaw knows that Canadian shoppers have emotional attachments to these names. You're not buying heritage. You're buying nostalgia, while the actual product is identical to the private label sitting 3 feet away on the shelf. It's corporate manipulation, dressed up in vintage packaging. Number 8. The no-name ultra-discount failure. Loblaw launched a new store format called No Name. It was supposed to be an ultra-discount chain even cheaper than No Frills. 3 pilot stores opened in 2024. They were bare bones. No refrigerated goods. No fresh meat. No dairy. Just shelf-stable private label products. The company promised prices 20% cheaper than No Frills. Canadians were skeptical. The stores had only 1,300 products compared to 7,000 at a normal store. There were no promotions, no dynamic pricing. The assortment was so limited that you had to make multiple trips to different stores to do your weekly shopping. The concept failed spectacularly. The stores closed in 2025, but this failure reveals everything about Loblaw's strategy. They don't actually want to offer lower prices. They want to give the appearance of options while keeping prices inflated. The no-name stores were an experiment to see how little they could offer before customers rebelled. The answer was apparently just barely anything. They pushed so hard on price that they forgot to include basic food categories. A grocery store without dairy is not a grocery store. It's a warehouse. The no-name failure proves that Loblaw knows how to lower prices. They just choose not to. Every day at No Frills, they're choosing not to. Number 9. The private label sourcing opacity. No Frills private label products are manufactured by different suppliers depending on where the product is made and what the cost situation is. A can of beans might be made in Canada. The same branded product next to it might be made in the United States or Mexico. The sourcing is completely opaque. You can't verify where your food actually comes from. This matters because food safety standards vary dramatically. A facility in Canada is subject to Canadian food inspection. A facility in Mexico is subject to Mexican standards. The quality can be completely different, but the label looks identical. The packaging is the same. You have no way of knowing which facility made the product in your hand. Some shoppers have reported buying the same no-name product multiple times and getting wildly different quality levels, different taste, different texture, different shelf life. This indicates that multiple suppliers are being used and there's no quality control between them. You're playing a game of grocery roulette. Sometimes you get a decent product, sometimes you get something that should have been thrown away weeks ago. When you call No Frills customer service to complain about inconsistent quality, they act like it's your imagination. They have no information about which facility made your specific can of beans. They can't trace it. They don't track it. This is by design. If Loblaw had to disclose sourcing information, they'd have to guarantee quality. It's cheaper to maintain opacity and let customers absorb the quality risk. You're not just buying food, you're buying unknown food, manufactured in unknown locations, by unknown standards. And you're supposed to trust the label. Number 10. The prepared food deception. At No Frills, there's a section with prepared foods, hot chicken, baked goods, sandwiches. The markup on these items is enormous. A rotisserie chicken at No Frills costs more than buying raw chicken and cooking it yourself. But the real problem is the ingredients. The baked goods contain azotocarbonamide, the yoga mat chemical banned in Europe and Australia. The bread sits under heat lamps all day, which degrades the nutrients and increases the formation of acrylamide, a probable carcinogen. The chicken is often the same Kirkwood product sold frozen, just heated up and sold at triple the price. You're paying a premium for convenience while getting products made with banned chemicals and ingredients that the No Frills company literally sells for cheaper in the frozen section. It makes no sense unless the point is that you're not supposed to be thinking about this. You're supposed to be hungry at 5 p.m. and grab the rotisserie chicken without wondering why it costs $20. The sandwiches made in the deli section are assembled from pre-made ingredients that have been sitting in containers for hours. The bread is day-old. The meat is left over from the deli counter. They assemble it into a sandwich and charge you $8 for something that costs the store about 90 cents to make. The markup is 800%. And those prepared salads? They're made with produce that wasn't fresh enough to sell from the regular produce section. No Frills takes the stuff that's starting to go bad and throws it in a salad with dressing to mask the flavor. You think you're making a healthy choice. You're actually eating recycled produce at premium prices. The entire prepared food section is a profit maximization machine built on lower-tier ingredients and psychological manipulation. Number 11. The shrinkflation on beverages. A 2-liter bottle of no-name cola at No Frills costs the same price as it did 3 years ago, but check the weight. A 2-liter bottle should weigh approximately 2,060 grams. Many No Frills 2-liter bottles now weigh significantly less. They're using slightly lighter plastic to save costs. The product inside is the same volume in theory, but the actual serving might be slightly less. It's a subtle way to raise prices without actually raising prices. You think you're getting the same product for the same price? You're getting less. And the company is banking on the fact that you don't weigh your beverages when you get home. This is happening across multiple no-name product categories. Not just beverages. Pasta. Canned goods. The packages are slightly smaller, or the contents are slightly less even, though the product code and nutrition label look correct. Loblaw has figured out that Canadians trust the label more than they verify the actual contents. You're buying a package that looks normal, but contains less than it used to. And the price stays exactly the same. Number 12. The Loblaw monopoly. Here's the final truth that explains everything. Loblaw owns No Frills. Loblaw also owns Zehrs. Loblaw owns Maxi. Loblaw owns Shoppers Drug Mart. Loblaw owns Fresh Co locations. Loblaw owns Loblaws and Real Canadian Superstore. In some regions of Canada, Loblaw owns nearly 40% of all grocery retail. Loblaw doesn't compete. Loblaw controls the market. When there's no real competition, there's no incentive to lower prices or improve quality. No Frills exists to capture the budget-conscious shopper. If they get fed up with No Frills, they move to Real Canadian Superstore, which is also owned by Loblaw, just with slightly better presentation. If they get frustrated with that, they move to Loblaw's. The company owns the entire spectrum from discount to premium. They own your loyalty card. They own your transaction data. They own your shopping patterns. They know what time you shop. They know what brand you prefer. They use this data to optimize their pricing algorithms. You're not a customer. You're a data point being mined to extract the maximum amount of money from your grocery budget. No Frills isn't actually cheap. It's a psychological manipulation system designed to make you think you're saving money while Loblaw captures the absolute maximum profit margin. They know that price-conscious shoppers will forgive low quality if they believe they're getting a good deal. They know that Canadians struggling with cost of living will buy frozen chicken full of chemicals if it's marked down. They know that you'll accept rotten produce rather than shopping at a store 10 minutes further away. They've calculated the exact price point where quality and service collapse, but you still shop there. That's No Frills. That's the No Frills experience. Stop shopping at No Frills blindly. Stop trusting the Optimum card to give you real savings. The discounts are an illusion. The quality is an afterthought. The entire business model is built on Canadians being too tired to comparison shop. If you have the option to go elsewhere, go. Your health is worth more than the marginal savings No Frills offers. And if No Frills is your only option because you don't have a car or because it's the only store in your neighborhood, that's a systemic failure that requires government action. Canada shouldn't have grocery monopolies, but we do. And every time you swipe your Optimum card, you're reinforcing Loblaw's grip on the Canadian food supply. Share this with every Canadian who thinks they're getting a good deal at No Frills. Because they're not. They're just funding a monopoly that doesn't care about their health or their wallet.